right.
And
Great.
you are on. You are on, sir. Go ahead.
Awesome. Great. Hello and salutation, everyone. This is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. I'm your moderator tonight for a spectacular movie review. Of course, it's on F1 the movie. Of course, the 2025 sports action film from last year, starring Brad Pitt and directed by Joshua Kosinski, the director of the Tron Legacy and the Legacy sequel of Top Gun Maverick. Yes, Cyber, you can speak.
Joseph.
Joseph, thank you. Thank you. Oh my God. No, no. What are you doing, Jeff? No. Don't read that.
I was out shopping earlier today.
Oh my God. Of course. Anyway.
Obviously not for you.
Yeah, it's not
No,
for you. It's...
no, those I don't use magnums personally.
Oh my God.
I'm very anti-condom overall. I always have been.
Well, that's good to hear, sir.
And I make that very clear to women too that I'm not pro condom. I'm not into it.
Well, awesome. So let me introduce our panelists tonight. First up, we have our awesome, sexy Australian person here tonight, Matt from Born to Watch, sir. How you doing? How's life? Go ahead.
Very, very happy to be back with my three North American friends. It's been a little while, not as long as Jeff thinks, but it's been a little while. Yeah. I have missed joining you guys, but I'm excited to talk about F1. I was obviously after Top Gun Maverick very excited to see what Joseph Kosinski could do in a car without not a plane. So I think it delivers in many areas. I mean, I really enjoyed it. So I'll dive deeper as we go on.
Yeah. Yes. And of course, to the left of the screen, we got co-host MC Bleed Edge, Jeff. How you doing, sir?
Oh, sir, I'm wonderful. If you can't tell, I'm in a very good mood. Always happy to see Matthew again. He's probably right. It probably has not been as long as I feel like it's been since I last saw you. But honestly, Matthew, at one point years ago, we used to see you so often that I just kind of got used to you. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
But
I haven't been avoiding you guys. I've just got a lot going on down here in the Southern Hemisphere.
You're making money, man.
Well, we're trying to just go about our business. Let you Northern Hemisphere psychopaths do what you do, and we'll just hide down in the southern end of the globe and be safe.
Yeah, you don't have guys shooting their neighbor 12 times over a tree or anything like that. You don't have incidences like that in Australia very often.
No, we don't. But I'm a little bit scared. My son now is a US resident. He's in Missouri in college, so has been since the start of the year. So we're keeping a very close eye on what goes on in your neck of the woods.
From what I know about Missouri, sir, Missouri is a very, very safe state, Matthew. Very safe.
Yeah, he's definitely enjoying himself. That's for sure.
It's a very laid back, very simple kind of people kind of state. You know what I mean? Not a lot of really crazy shit happens there.
Let's hope so.
Hopefully he's not in a new spectacular episode from Snap.
I mean, I don't want it to sound bad, but it's honestly probably one of our most boring states, to tell you the truth.
And I'm very happy with that.
Yes, I think you're happy for that, man. Hopefully,
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, because Lord knows, that when kids go to college, they already can find enough interesting shit to get into, while they're there, regardless of how safe things are. You know what I mean?
I'm surprised he wanted to come here to go to college.
Of course he did. Yeah. Why not?
Who wouldn't? When you hear about what it's like to go to American college with all the frat parties and the pussy and
just did his first spring break, which he thoroughly enjoyed. Unfortunately, he's snaffled himself a girlfriend very early on. And so he's not really taking advantage of being a 6'3" lean, muscular Australian in Middle America, but he's enjoying himself.
That happens sometimes. Sometimes guys show up and they just pick up a girlfriend immediately. It happens, It's not the smartest move. You know what I mean?
No, it's not. To say that myself and my friends are extremely disappointed would be an understatement, because we were ready to live vicariously through him for some time.
No, for sure. Hopefully he'll shed that girlfriend sometime soon so he can just get himself back in the game.
Well, maybe. I don't like his chances, but maybe.
Yeah, and let's just introduce Cyber, who's the last the co-host of NC Blade Edge. How you doing, sir?
I'm hunky dory, and I'm here to talk about F1.
Yes. So just kind of get full context of this movie. It was developed by Pitt and some of the same crew that did the Top Gun Maverick movie. Of course, if you've seen the production stuff, like Jerry Bruckheimer's company produced it.
I never saw Top Gun Maverick personally.
Oh, really?
I did not see it, but I do know that Jerry Bruckheimer has a deal with Apple, right, to produce films, right?
Yeah, I'm trying to remember what other films he did or TV, but yeah, I think he signed a deal for Apple.
Yeah,
TV.
I don't believe they signed him for just one film.
No. But yeah. So this is after Top Gun Maverick, great film from 2022. I think you will like it, Jeff. It's amazing.
Yeah, I heard it was good and did well. Yeah.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters, which I was so happy because
It was fucking amazing.
Yeah, it was amazing. I was
Jeff.
so shocked.
Jeff,
I got to see it. I know. I heard it was good.
stop filming your own content and take 2 hours out of your life and go and watch Top Gun Maverick.
I will. I like Tom Cruise too.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's good. It's surprisingly better than the first one, shockingly. But I mean, not really, because the first one was okay. But yeah, so you got Brad Pitt, you got Kerry Conan,
Kerry Condon,
Kenny Condon. Thank you.
who was like a no name as far as I'm concerned. I've never heard of her in anything up until this movie.
Apparently, she was in Better Call Saul.
Was she?
Yeah, that's what I see her. Oh, you know her from.
She was in Better Call Saul with that Irish accent.
Maybe, but no. Actually, you guys know her as the artificial attention Friday in the MCU. When Jarvis became the Vision, she actually voiced the AI Friday.
Oh, she voiced Friday.
Yes.
The accent. I get it now. Yeah, she had the accent too.
Yes. And I don't.
No wonder Friday had an Irish accent.
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised about that. And she's in other films like I think I forgot about this, but she was in Three Billboards Outside Sari. She was in The Banshee of Inisherin. A lot of great films in her catalog. And then of course we got the
I've never heard any of those movies, so I don't know how great they are, but
they're good. They're great. They're Oscar films. I mean, I seen Three Billboards back in 2017. It was great. That was the one that got Sam Rockwell his Oscar that year. I think you will like it, Jeff. And then just wrapping up.
What did Sam Rockwell win an Oscar for?
For that
For
film.
Three Billboards.
Yeah.
In what function?
Supporting actor.
Supporting actor.
Okay.
Yeah. And it was worth it. I think it was a worthy supporting actor win. So just let me go red robin to you guys. What's your opinion on the film? And I just want to know that you guys see it in the theater, because this is my first time seeing it, and unfortunately I couldn't see it last year. Fortunately, I feel really bad, but that's why I picked this movie. I was like, let me see this movie because a lot of people talked about this last year. So starting with you, Matt, your opinion on this movie, and you saw this in the theaters.
Yeah, I saw this opening weekend in the theaters. It was one of the movies that I had earmarked that I definitely wanted to see straight away. Obviously, my family are quite. My wife has become a massive Formula One fan because of the Australian driver Daniel Ricciardo, and because of Drive to Survive, the TV series on Netflix, which has taken the world by storm. But I guess I was interested to see it. Obviously, any movie that Brad Pitt's in, I'm going to go and see. But obviously, coming off the back of Maverick with Joseph Kosinski and knowing what he did, the realism that he brought to Maverick about feeling inside the cockpit, I thought, well, fuck, if he can do 30% of what he did with Maverick and put us inside an F1 car, then I'm all in. And I've got to say, I was blown away. This was my favorite movie of 25. I think 25 was a pretty lean year for movies, really, of any real good movies. Obviously, we've just had the Oscars, and you can just look at the 10 movies that were nominated for Best Picture, and there's some good movies there, but nothing that you would go, fuck, that was awesome, really. So I thought that F1 was my favorite movie of 25. I think that Brad Pitt is excellent in it. I think it's directed great. It's paint by numbers a little for a sports movie. Underdog, old guy comes back. It's been done 1,000 times before, but I don't care. I thoroughly enjoyed it. My wife loved it. I took my then 11-year-old daughter, and she enjoyed it. It's a good, fun movie. Well done. Can't wait to talk deeper about it because I've got a bit to say about it as well.
Awesome. Yeah.
Yep.
My late great father, he was a car enthusiast, and when I saw this movie, I was like, oh, could have been a perfect movie for seeing this to my dad, because the F1 or in general racing is like a really cool experience, and I've been to not like the F1 forums, but like those kind of kart racings when I was growing up. Jeff, could you give me your opinion about the film? This is pretty much your first time, so go ahead.
Yes, I, of course, as you already know, did not see this in the theater because I watched it for the first time tonight. And as I said, I've never been a fan of racing movies to begin with. It's never really been my genre. Not that there's ever been that many made, but I'm just saying I've never really been a huge fan. Even the comedy one with what's his name?
Talladega Nights.
What's that actor's name? Will Ferrell. Will Ferrell.
Talladega Nights.
Yeah. Even that one I thought was just okay. You know what I'm saying? It was all right, I never got into like Days of Thunder or whatever, I liked F1, I will say that it's a very high level produced film. Looks great, the racing stuff looks great, you know what I mean? My only critiques really, I felt like where I felt like there was a lack of chemistry and a lack of authenticity when it came to the side actors that played the crew members and stuff like that on the team, on Brad Pitt's team. I felt like, some of those actors that portrayed those, mechanics and, whatever, just did not seem like they really authentically fit, into the film. You know what I mean? Like, like they blended well into their roles. I felt like a couple of them seemed a little off, especially that one blonde-haired mechanic chick. She's just like really stiff the whole film. The one that drops the wrench and fucks up the tire change the one time. I like the cast, even though I really didn't know who any of them were. I know who they are now. I know that Idris guy has been in some stuff, I liked him. This was an interesting take for Brad Pitt, very different character for him compared to the one we saw in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, overall, it wasn't my favorite film at all. It certainly wasn't my favorite Brad Pitt film. But it was a solid 2025 film, it starts well, ends well, the middle's solid, doesn't really drag at all that much. Although it being a racing film, there are some scenes where they get a little technical with the car and, all the computer stuff and the data and all that can get a bit of a drag here and there. But overall, I enjoyed the film. I thought that, I liked the whole addition of Brad Pitt being actually medically injured or whatever, from his previous, accident, and having that, being affecting him, there at the end, like it's, potentially life-threatening for him to even be driving, but then deciding to drive anyway, and convincing, Gerard or Gerald or whatever to let him race that one last time, then of course he decides he's done, he's going to move on and go to the Baja Classic, because I guess he just loves to drive overall. That's his main thing. It's not about the money. It's about, the desire, to compete, to race, to drive. And I dug all that. I dug that aspect of it. That's his kind of deal, you know. I loved seeing his relationship with the rookie driver grow and develop and, you know, get better over time, you know, and end up with them, you know, becoming kind of like friends almost, right? That was nice, you know, it was a nice thing to see. This is a very positive film, you know, overall, you know, from start to finish, it's really, you know, a film meant to be positive, you know, and meant, you know, meant to come off very uplifting, you know what I mean? And it does that, you know, it's a very positive, uplifting, happy kind of film, you know, very little bad stuff happens, you know, very little depressing things happen, you know, it's pretty much all on the up and up, with very little actual drama or suspense ever happening. So besides that, yeah, it's all right.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, it's a very typical sports movie. I mean, you can see some of the twists if you kind of like seen these movies before. It's like very obvious.
I like that Carrie Condon. I don't know who she was, but I can see her being in other stuff and being good because I liked her in the movie.
Could you see Brad Pitt rooting her though? This is the thing.
Yeah, I mean, you know, she's an attractive woman.
Yeah.
I mean,
you know,
he had a good.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I mean,
You don't like that relationship?
I struggled with that relationship. I was like, there's no way. Like Brad Pitt, like he roots the most beautiful women in the world.
Yeah, but
he's an F1 driver.
But this is
he could have rooted anyone.
This is a different kind of weird, you know, bizarre kind of oddball kind of Brad Pitt character, you know. So he's a little bit different. And honestly, she's not a bad looking chick. And let's be honest, Brad Pitt's he's reaching an age where you know, the women he's going to have sex with in movies and have romance with are going to be older. You know, I mean, he can't be, you know, he cannot be, you know, banging 20-year-old girls anymore in movies.
Leave that to Leonardo DiCaprio.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Every time he dates his new love interest in life or movie. Okay. Thank you, Jeff. Cyber, your thoughts on F1, sir. And did you had a chance to see? I try to remember you did a short review on this. You saw it in theaters, but go ahead. Speak your opinion on the movie, sir.
I did see this in theaters, and I did a full movie review and a mini review of this film. I absolutely loved it. I'm a big fan of sports films that are entertaining from beginning to end. And after seeing Top Gun Maverick, just like kind of everyone's mentioned here, especially Matt, Maverick was such a great phenomenon when it came out in 2022 because it felt like a real movie again. It felt like a movie that I would go see in theaters. It was action-packed. It had the drama. It had the comedy. It had good writing, good music. It was everything I was looking for in a classic action-packed type of film. It felt like the original Top Gun. It felt like those classics that we saw in the 90s and early 2000s. And when I saw that Joseph Kosinski was directing this, I was like, oh, interesting. I wonder what he's going to do with this because he did such a great job with Maverick. And so when I went to see this, which it came out on my birthday last year, I was like, oh, this is awesome. It comes out on my birthday and it's got Brad Pitt and it's by Joseph Kosinski. I'm like, nice. And so I went and saw it. And I remember just sitting there being in awe the whole entire film going, oh my God, this is just so freaking amazing. Absolutely love Brad Pitt's character. Absolutely love all the characters in it. And I loved how it had that great relationship, you know, where it was the snotty kid that needs to learn to grow up. And you got your seasoned vet who's trying to teach the kid, but has to do it a certain way because the snotty kid's not going to understand unless you slap him upside the head. That type of deal. And it felt like it was common sense again. It was so fantastically done. Absolutely love this film. I think it was absolutely epic in theaters. It was amazing on the big screen. All the crashes, all the racing. It was just amazing. And just visually and musically, this movie was absolutely epic. And the fact that it won Best Sound at the Academies this year, I was really impressed with that. I was very happy to see that. So this movie is actually an Oscar winner. So I think it definitely deserved it. All around, just a really fantastic film. I had a great time watching this in theaters.
I think just on that, Cyber, I think you make a really good point about the experience in the theater. And I think that this is probably something it's a bit sad that Andres and Jeff didn't really get to experience, was just how good this movie was as a movie experience. And they're few and far between now. I think that, Maverick was one. You then go back to sort of like the Infinity War Endgame sort of thing, where it's actually a fully immersive cinema experience. And I think that, and what Joseph Kaczynski does so well, he did it with Maverick. And there's also another movie that he did with Tom Cruise, Oblivion, which is not a great movie, but it looks fucking amazing. And in the cinema, that was another one that you are blown away by what this movie does to you in the cinema. And I think that as much as you guys love this movie or like this movie, seeing it on your TVs at home, I think we're probably coming from a different perspective, having had this experience with a full cinema, with the sound and with the big screen. I think it really adds 25 or 30% onto the film about how good this was in the movie.
I believe it, Matthew, because I saw the trailer. I saw the trailer last year during Captain America 4 or something like that. And I thought the trailer really blew up the fucking the theater. You know what I mean? It was loud,
Yeah, and so I think there's not many tentpole cinema experience movies anymore. And I think that you've really got to make that effort to try and get to these things, because without Maverick, cinema dies anyway, right? I don't think we're sitting here today talking about F1 if Maverick doesn't do what it does. But, I think that when they come along, you've really got to get into it. I guess the next one, there's probably 3 or 4 of them this year that are probably movies that you're going to need to see in the cinema.
You're right. Matthew, you're right. You make a good point, though. I've mentioned this before on previous shows, we are getting less of the tentpole blockbuster cinema films coming out every year, it seems like.
Yeah. I think I don't know. Well, I think the reason is because the old way of doing it, which was we'll use the MCU as the perfect example, is that broke, right? So after COVID, that broke and people weren't going, and what the MCU has dished up afterwards has not been as good. And what Star Wars dished up has not been as good. And these massive franchises that were the ones that sent you to the movies have not been as good as what they've been in the past. So now these independent movies that are like F1, you call that independent. It's original IP. They're the ones you've got to get to. And there's going to be a few this year which are bigger IP and franchise and stuff that, you're not going to want to miss at the cinema. And I know that, we've been talking about Spider-Man off air, but that'll be one of them. And there's probably half a dozen this year that are pretty exciting that I want to see in the cinema. And I think that they do, seeing them at home, because I've been guilty as well of going, I'm just going to wait to watch it on the TV. And then I watch it and I go, and I did that with Guardians, the first Guardians. I didn't go to the cinema to watch that, and I watched it on Blu-ray, and I was so angry at myself that I didn't see it in the cinema. I was pissed off. So
Lord.
I'm trying not to make the mistakes anymore of not seeing movies. So, for instance, Project Hail Mary comes out this week, right?
This week, yeah, that one.
I have to see that in the cinema, right? I love The Martian. I saw The Martian in the cinema. I thought that was amazing. Project Hail Mary, I'm going to have to see in the cinema. Because it's got that interstellar vibes, that outer space stuff, and I think it's just something you can't miss. And so I think that the more that these movies are made that are meant to be seen in the cinema that we don't go to, the less of these movies are going to be made. So I think that we really need to be just getting out and seeing them, and otherwise, everything's going to be Apple TV, everything's going to be Adam Sandler on Netflix, and I just don't want that.
You're right. You make a good point, sir.
Yeah. So it's anyway, my rant's over.
No, that's a good point. You make a good point, sir. Believe me, we've been having these discussions from time to time the last couple of months. When it comes to film and streaming and everything that's going on, and we're with you on that shit, man. We feel you.
Yeah.
And I think there's some really good streaming. Don't get me wrong. I think there is some great streaming. There's not great, but I think that streaming serves a purpose, and I don't think it's for movies. I really don't. I think that there's not been a.
You're right. It's really for television.
It's for television, and it's for prestige TV, and that's what it's for. I want to sit on my lounge and I want to watch The Night of the Seven Kingdoms. That's fine, right? But if they decided that Mandalorian and Grogu, which I'm sure is not going to be awesome, but
No.
I need to see it on the big screen, right? That's what it's meant to be for. Now, but on the flip side, is that something that could have just been a series of a TV series? Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know why they're doing it as a movie.
That movie could be honestly terrible, Matthew.
Yeah, the trailer has me so concerned. It feels like it's made for 5-year-olds. And again, I just feel that, start making movies for people that go to the movies, right?
I don't know what they're thinking. I don't want to get into it, but I don't know what they're thinking with that shit, because that trailer looks like it was literally made for 5 and 6-year-old children. And I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know why the fuck they would think even Star Wars fans would want to go see this kind of crap in the movie theater. I mean, seriously, it's bad. It looks horrible. Why didn't they just make a 4th season of The Mandalorian?
I just don't know what they did. They had, and we're getting way off topic. Sorry, Andres, but they had the perfect property. They had the perfect original property with The Mandalorian. The first season was almost perfection. The second season was pretty good with the world's best finale. And then they just went off the rails. They just dropped everything that they were doing and they have almost destroyed what was the best thing that Star Wars had done since Rogue One.
Yeah.
But anyway, we move on.
No. It's a very good, valid point. Thankfully, I think this year is going to be a better year than last year. I kind of agree with you, Matt, what you were saying. This year, of course, you brought up Project Mary. I'm very excited for that. Plan to see it hopefully this week or next week. The Odyssey, Christopher Nolan. That's
absolutely
amazing. And of course, December we got Avengers Doomsday, but also Dune Part 3, which we saw this week, the trailer, which is really exciting. I'm excited for that.
Dude, I haven't seen the trailer, but Doom Part 3 is going to be really, really good because I know what it's based on. It's going to be really interesting.
Yeah.
It looks amazing.
It looks amazing. So, I agree with what you're saying, Matt. And I think, I kind of with you. I'm very sad that I didn't see this theater, because I think one thing this movie has that like some movies don't have is the spectacle that like feels real, like it's so practical, which I like. That was something that was successful for Top Gun too. Was like everything felt real, like the sound and everything. And I'm so happy that Cyber brought up the Oscar win for the sound design last week. I was so happy he won for that. I thought the sound here, for this week when I had to prep to see this film, I was like, I'm like, it was so good. And it did well last year. It crossed over 633 million worldwide, which is good. It was the 9th highest grossing film of 2025. So it broke kind of good records here. It became the highest grossing auto racing film of all time, the highest grossing film by Apple. That was crazy. And this is also the highest grossing film for Pitt's career, which is cool. That was nice. So, all right, let's get into the recap here. So we open up here with Brad Pitt's character, Sonny Hayes, a aging former Formula One, where he, the last 30 years, he's been living as like a racer for hire, following a career-ending crash back in 1993. And, during the beginning of this film, we get his introduction here, winning a 24 hours race that's at Dayton, and then after he won for that, he got his money, and then because while he was working with that team over there, he was asked to maybe stay on for another year in the team, but he declined that for some reason. We don't know what. And we see him doing his usual like routine, doing laundry and stuff like that. But while he was doing that, he gets approached by his former teammate Ruben, a owner of a struggling this part is frustrating me. The Express GP F1 team. So who asked him to be their second driver. Ruben is a best friend of Pitt back when they were drivers 30 years ago. By the way, I love is played by Harvard Bardem. Great actor, love him. If you haven't seen his films like No Country for Old Men or Skyfall, he's a fantastic actor. I was so in the Doom films as well. He's gonna come back in Doom Part 3. I like their chemistry. They really feel like they're old friends, and so he asked him if he can come over to this struggling team, because Ruben explains that unless this team wins the one out of the 9 remaining Grand Prix of the season, his investors will sell the team. And Sonny, he's a good friend to Ruben, so he reluctantly agrees after Ruben insists that victory will prove that he is the best in the world. So, and he will have a chance to get back to the F1, and achieve that dream, right? And then just wrapping up, so Sonny meets the team, including technical director Kate, who becomes like the love interest for Sonny, Brad Pitt's character. And then here he meets up the rookie kid, Joshua Pierce, and of course Joshua fears that the failing of this team could derail his career, and he aims to attract instant from other team to get him picked up. And at the same time, Sonny struggles with the modern F1 machinery, but quickly dissect the weakness of these cars, and then propose that vehicles should be upgraded with enhanced what was it, mechanics for their speed disadvantage, which was interesting. And so let me stop there and let me get to you, Matt. What do you thought about this beginning part where we get introduced to the characters, and seeing the first time Sonny going through the F1 car, and seeing what was the fault, the disadvantage, and how you can improve the car to make them successful in the race. Go ahead. And that's the end point.
I think it's a cracking start. Any movie that starts with Led Zeppelin, I'm just sliding all my chips in and just going, I'm in.
Yeah.
A Whole Lot of Love start is amazing. The Daytona 24-hour is great. I think it's awesome. You find that he just is asleep, and then 4 minutes later, he's up and he's in the car and he's winning the race. I love that we know who these people are. We know who Brad Pitt is within the first 5 minutes of the movie. We know he's old and grizzled and experienced and a bit laissez-faire, a bit casual as well, and just living his best life, like living out of a trailer and living his best life. And he's a race car driver at heart. That's his whole being, really. I love that he gets the opportunity that Javier Bardem, who you're right, is an amazing actor. I'll tell you what, he's looking pretty fucking good in this movie too. I think he's had a bit of work done to sharpen himself up, but I think he plays a really good part that we sort of also we don't quite know what their relationship in the past is yet. So we know they drove together, they were partners and on the same team, but we don't really know what happened yet. I think that's really cool that we don't find that out till much later on in the movie as well. I really did enjoy when he joins the F1 team and he's just walking down, and then he makes the bet with Damson Idris, who's the young kid, and says, I'll be able to break the time, and blah 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 blah, and he goes out and does it, and then crashes the fucking car. I think that's really cool. So I think his not give a fuck attitude is just it almost feels like this performance for Brad Pitt almost feels like it's a George Clooney performance, where I think if you met Brad Pitt, I reckon this is as close to Brad Pitt as you're going to get. Like, he just seems to be that real cool cat, really laid back, has a laugh, has a lot of fun. I reckon this is Pitt being Pitt, and I have no dramas with that, because would I like to spend 2 hours with Brad Pitt? Fucking oath I would. I think it would be amazing. And I think that experience that he brings is great. The thing that I don't like, straight up, is I find the kid, I forget what his name is, the young kid, the driver,
Pierce.
I find him a bit annoying. Mm. I just find him a bit petulant and a bit annoying. And that whole about, when was the last time you won a race? And he goes, yesterday or Sunday. He goes, oh, sorry, I meant an F1 race. He goes, oh, well, the same as you, never. So, I find him, he's a little bit, he's not winning. He's not doing anything. yet he's prancing around like he's some superstar. And I get this is all part of the movie, and this is to build up to make Brad Pitt the Jedi. But it's I just find I struggle with him the whole movie, with the young kid the whole movie. But other than that, I think it's a great start. You are fully invested in what's going on, and you automatically fall in love with Sonny Hayes, and you want him to succeed no matter what. So, yeah, great start. Awesome.
Yeah, his character reminds me a little bit like reviews his the other movie Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, like Cliff Booth.
Yeah,
he has
absolutely.
He has that like swagger, but at the same time he has a little bit of like, he reminds me of Christian Bale's character from Ford v Ferrari, another great race car film, like a mixture of that and yeah, he does feel like this is a type of George Clooney role, like you can see, but instead it's Brad Pitt, and I kind of agree with that.
Yeah, I think the good thing about him is that he's very casual, except for when it comes to driving the car and racing the car. Like, he knows his shit. So he may come across as this cool cat, but he actually knows his shit. And I reckon that's the coolest kind of bloke, that can be cool, can be this character, but he actually knows what he's doing. So when he talks, shut the fuck up and listen, because he knows what he's saying. And I think that's the best part of the movie, is that he's still got that fire. He just wants to win. He just wants to drive. But it's not coming from, it's the pureness of the sport. It's the pureness of driving. It's not come from his desire, doesn't come from wanting to win, which is very similar to Christian Bale's character in Ford vs Ferrari. He's about the car and the drive and the grind, and that's what Sonny is. But he comes across, and whereas I guess Christian Bale's character in Ford vs Ferrari is a bit more highly strung to a point. But here, Pitt's like the guy you want to have a beer with. Like, you 100% want to have a beer. He seems like he's a legend fella, Sonny Hayes.
Yeah. And you brought up the rookie Pierce. We'll get into in the next section, but yeah, I kind of agree with you, Matt, about how frustrating that character is, especially like how he treats people is like where I'm like, I hate you, because at least with Brad Pitt's character, like the reason we like Sonny is because he is so nice to them, like, and this kid is so like up his ass, and like that's so fucking annoying. Jeff, your turn, sir. What you thought about the beginning of introducing the characters, and the end point, sir, is seeing Brad Pitt's character.
I figured for sure you'd go to Cyber, not me, sir, since you already went to me second already. But whatever.
Hey, let's start with you, and then be quick, and then go to Cyber.
Okay. Whatever you want to do, sir. You are moderating. So, anyways, I mean, I mean, because I believe probably because we share my Apple TV together. I started the movie off 6 minutes plus into the film. That's where I started. So wherever you left it or something like that, or whatever the fuck you did or to the movie or whatever, that's where I ended up at, I hit play and it went right to 6 minutes. It was like, right at the end of that NASCAR race where he was getting out of the car, or whatever, and
oh my God,
all that, that's right.
Sorry about that.
That's right where I picked up. So I don't know what happened up until that point. I missed all of it. So I just wanted to go ahead and watch it right from there. So it didn't seem like that much had really happened, but
just showing how good he was, the racer.
Yeah, how he did in the race. Yeah, I didn't really get to see that part, unfortunately. That's okay. That happens sometimes when you share a streaming service. It happens with people all the time. I enjoy Brad Pitt's sort of character in this film. I do think it's very much like Brad Pitt-esque as far as like what he's actually like to be, like being around him, like just himself. I think that like this character that he's playing is very much like himself, like very Brad Pitt-esque. You know what I mean? I think probably, I don't know. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood was probably a character he played that was a little bit different than what I feel like he actually is like in real life. To be honest with you, I felt like that was a little bit more off compared to his real. But either way, you know, I listen. I would actually probably pay good money to spend 2 hours with Brad Pitt just to bounce off of Matthew. I mean, who the fuck would not want to hang out with Brad Pitt for 2 hours? You know what I'm saying? And just bullshit with him. You know what I mean? And ask him questions. You know what I mean? About Hollywood and shit. I'm telling you right now, I don't have a list made up or anything like that. But if hypothetically I had this fucking 2-hour meeting with Brad Pitt tomorrow or some shit over some beers or whatever, or drinks or, drugs or whatever the fuck whatever Brad's into these days, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. You know what I mean? He's always been a pretty wild and crazy guy from what I've always understood. So like, it wouldn't surprise me if Brad, even at his age, would be, still delving into, some stuff besides alcohol, if you know what I mean. So, over some weed or whatever. I'm telling you right now, I can come up with fucking 100 questions for that motherfucker about what it's like to be in Hollywood and, what it was like to be in certain movies he's been in and stuff like that. What the atmosphere was like on set. You know what I mean? Like, I would love to pick Brad Pitt's brain. You know what I'm saying? Lord knows that man has probably experienced and like learned so much, you know what I mean, in his long career, in film. About other actors and
you can't spend 2 hours asking him about fucking Angelina Jolie though, Jeff.
No, I wouldn't ask him that though, because honestly, I mean, at the point where he was banging Angelina Jolie, that was when she got all crackhead skinny. You know what I'm saying? And like, I was not feeling Angelina then, Matthew. I'll be clear with you, bro. I'm sure Cyber would probably agree with me on this 100%. Crackhead version of Angelina Jolie, she's filled out a little bit now. She ate some sandwiches or whatever and like got some weight on real quick. You know what I'm saying?
She's looking good in Mr. and Mrs. Smith. I think it's once they get married, she goes right down the crackhead look. But yeah, I'd spend at least 45 minutes on Jennifer Aniston. I'd like to know a bit about that.
It's like she went anorexic or some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what happened to her, bro. You know what I mean? It was crazy, but it did not look good for her. She looked so good at her regular, weight that she was, size that she was for the longest time. So as far as I wouldn't really have that many questions as far as Jennifer goes. I mean, what is there to really know? I mean, didn't he basically break up with her to be with Angelina Jolie, essentially? So what is there to really know?
Yeah,
I mean,
that's what happened.
Yeah. Brad Pitt, he married her, didn't he?
Yeah.
He married Jennifer Aniston, didn't he?
Yeah, they were married and until he met with hold on. I think it was before he met Jolie. They did divorce.
Until he worked with
No. He was married to Jennifer Aniston and left Aniston for Angelina Jolie.
They
were together. They were having an affair on the set.
Yeah, because of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith,
yeah.
Okay,
because that's happened in Hollywood a lot of times, man, in the history of Hollywood. You know what I'm saying? Affairs happening, on set and stuff like that, that happens. That's a well-known thing. But I really don't mind. I don't mind the Idris, Ambrose Idris or whatever, that black guy. I don't mind him in the film. I actually think he's okay. I don't like some of the writing that they have him working with in the film. I feel like they kind of make him seem almost too young, like too kiddish at times. You know what I'm saying? And I hate the way that he talks to his mom. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like the way they wrote for him in the film, but I don't blame him for that. I don't think that's his fault. You know what I'm saying? I feel like overall, I felt like I liked him in the movie. I don't know about Javier Bardem getting any work done or whatever. He looked good. It's good to see him, him showing up and offering, Brad Pitt's character a job and everything. And all that was cool, at the laundromat. I like that. What was going on with all those fucking tattoos that Brad Pitt has in this movie? That motherfucker had 25 different fucking tattoos on his arms. Chest, leg.
He's lived a lot.
He lived a lot. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of drivers have tattoos. I see it before.
He had like some bad tattoos, even. You know what I'm saying? Like some ones that weren't even that nice, like not even all that good looking. You know, that's
I mean,
different. I've never seen Brad Pitt with a lot of tattoos in any of his films before. To be honest with you,
yeah,
I don't remember him ever doing that. Uh, maybe
mm,
when he played that gypsy boxer and uh uh God
Snatch.
in Snatch, yeah. Maybe he had a
that
lot of
one.
tattoos. He had tattoos in that too. Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I was gonna say Fight Club, but no, he didn't have tattoos in that one.
No, he didn't have any tattoos in Fight Club.
Yeah, yeah. It's a rare thing to see him with tattoos. Yeah, but
Yeah,
you
I
know,
thought it was definitely different,
yeah,
definitely different. But yeah, I mean, I liked it. I liked his introduction to the team and everything, and the head chick, and everything, and it all seemed interesting. It was interesting learning about Formula One through the film. Like seeing how it all works, like with the test runs and all the equipment and all the computer technology stuff involved in the racing, and the practicing and everything, you know what I'm saying? All the communication between the drivers and the team, and all that, right? Um, you know, um, you know,
yeah,
uh, I guess I didn't really know that much about what the actual F1 team's like. You know what I'm saying? So seeing all that, how elaborate it all is, with all the different employees and all the different workers and all the mechanics and all that. That was interesting. I learned a lot from that. I thought, it was very informative for me. Because I know very little about Formula One, to be honest with you. Um, I didn't even know that like fire shoots out of their engines, like why they race sometimes. I didn't know that even happened with them.
yeah,
That was cool.
yeah.
I they seem to spark a lot too at times. I don't know what the sparking's about. I couldn't really figure that out.
It's the base of the car hitting the ground.
Oh,
Yeah,
just like the bump and grind of it, like
Yep.
the
yeah,
structure hitting the
Yeah.
fucking ground.
Yeah.
yeah. It's when you're hitting really like it depends on the miles. If you hit really like a certain mile, it will start sparking, and because those things are not. I try to remember because like Ford versus Ferrari like explained that very well. I remember because that happens too with Chris Bell's character's car a couple times.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I noticed that happened quite a bit. I wasn't aware of that. You know what I'm saying? But I find the whole F1 thing very impressive. The way that they shot all the scenes where they're actually shooting from the viewpoint of being in the car in the race
yes,
and all that. That was all really well done. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not surprised that Jerry Bruckheimer's involved in this film. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's got a really great reputation. For making blockbuster films. You know what I'm saying? And this certainly is one.
Well,
So
the F1 were fully invested in this as well. So like all the tracks are all legit F1 tracks. They had drivers that were legit drivers.
It's a win-win for everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I can see why F1 would want to attach themselves. Plus F1 is also with Apple TV, and Apple TV made the movie. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So, but it adds to our experience, and that realism is that when they go to a head office, it's actually a legit head office of a team that's in the F1. Like,
I noticed at the author that there was a lot of authenticity. You know what I mean? They really did not pull any punches when it came to the budget and making sure that they shot at all the real spots, and you know what I'm saying? But yeah, hats off to all the shots, and we'll talk about it later on more when they're actually racing, but the racing shots, the practice shots, in the car are great. And I love Brad Pitt wrecking the fucking car right on his first, practice run or whatever, that was great. I didn't know what was going to happen with that shit. I was like, bro, that's not good, Brad. You know what I'm saying? Like that cannot be good. You know what I mean? But then everybody was just like, all right, whatever about it. You know what I'm saying? Which I was like, okay, I guess that's normal. I don't know. I mean, hey, they pay for all these fucking mechanics to be there all the time. Somebody's got to fix the fucking car, so there you go. Got to keep them busy. Got to give them something to do.
yeah. By the way, not going. I don't want to say too long with the relationship, but yeah. Jennifer Aniston and Brad Pitt were together when they started dating in 1998, and then they got married in 2000. And then you were right, Jeff or Matt brought up that they got divorced in 2005, the same time as Brad Pitt was working with Jolie and Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So I just wanted to bring that up. But yeah, anyway, Cyber, you're next, sir. Tell me about your thoughts on the beginning of the film. The end point is pretty much seeing Brad Pitt, meaning the team, and going into the F1 car and testing it, and seeing the kind of like the disadvantage and the advantage of what the car can do. Go ahead.
So as pretty much most everyone has mentioned, the beginning of this film is fun. It's decent. You know, we get to see him in action right off the get-go, him driving at Daytona, which leads to us being introduced to Javier Bardem, who has come to ask for his help, you know, because his team is not doing well, and, you know, coming to him kind of as like a last resort type of deal. And we have that great kind of diner sequence. They're talking. He's taking a shower. They're talking and shit like that, which was funny. And then, you know, he basically, you know, at first is kind of like, I'm not sure. I don't do that anymore type of deal, you know. And Javier's like, okay, I'll leave it at that. And he leaves, but still leaves him a plane ticket in case he changes his mind. He ends up deciding to do it and he ends up going there. And of course, he gets introduced to the team. We get introduced to Kerry Condon. We get to the first driver, who is the only driver still left, and Mr. Damson Idris, I think is his name. And you know, of course, the rest of the kind of team. I think it's funny. I love when that guy's like, "Who the fuck is that?" And walking, and he's like, he's with me, and you know, and then, you know, he basically, you know, drives that car, and he's like making bets and shit like that, which was super funny. And basically he ends up wrecking the car, and you're just like, okay, well, that wasn't a good first start, but hey, he at least he started to get past you know, hit faster at the end right before he crashed. So that's a good thing, you know. So I think it's a great opening, a great introduction to the different characters. A really fantastically, the beauty of it is so amazingly done. I love the scenery. I love the look of the lay of the land. I think that the racing is done really well. Cinematography is amazing, along with the music that's going on with this film. And I mean, you know, watching this with any type of sound bar or even with headphones, you can see why the sound won for this film, because it is ultimately amazing sound. The sound of the racing is unbelievable. It really sounds like you're there watching that live, is how good the sound is on this film. And definitely, you know, this beginning sequence, you get some really great kind of concept, the kind of thought process of what Sonny is about, kind of what Sonny is. And then of course you get kind of an idea of kind of what he's coming into with, you know, what's going on. And I think that's, you know, really great start to the film, gets you kind of interested, gets you invested, gives you a good concept to go with and want more of the film. So yeah, really strong start to the film.
Thank you, Cyber. Yeah, I agreed. Yeah, the sound is really spectacular. Very happy won for the Oscars last Sunday. And yeah, of course, yeah, I was still talking about Trevor Heston. I knew that. Oh,
don't they still get along at this point
Yeah.
now?
They got along. Yeah, it's
There was thoughts they might have gotten back together a few years ago.
I
but-
thought that. Yes, I thought
Yeah.
that there was a time where it seemed like they might get back together again.
But Brad was like, your flange is a bit old, and I can get some younger flange than you. So
But
he
but
moved
that-
on.
But they get along now, which is nice to see.
Yeah, they still been good, still good friends, and I think they had a child together right before the divorce. No? Oh, okay,
No.
yeah,
She hasn't had
I-
any kids, Jennifer
okay.
Aniston.
Oh yeah, Oh,
She's
that's
still
good.
pristine.
Oh,
Yeah.
hey, she hasn't aged a bit. I mean, she looks still good to this.
She's gorgeous. Jeff, I don't know what you drinking, Jeff, or smoking, but Jennifer Aniston's stunning.
Yeah,
Yeah, look, I didn't say she doesn't look good still.
yeah, yeah. I was like,
I just didn't like Friends.
oh,
Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah, fair enough. I
This,
don't
this,
like
not,
Friends
this is
either.
not my show, man. You know what I'm saying? I never got why anybody even found it entertaining. To be honest with you, I thought it was stupid.
She definitely has manned out though as she's gotten older. Her nose has really gotten bigger,
Yeah.
and she looks very manly as she's
Well, I
gotten
think
older. Unfortunately,
it's the Greek in her. I think.
probably.
I mean, she's got like biceps now. Like she's kind of,
Yeah.
you know,
I
got,
wouldn't
Yeah.
care. She
I
can
don't
man
know.
out on me anytime she wants.
I think she's getting ready for the apocalypse.
apparently her Apple TV
No
show.
wrong with her in the Horrible Boss series.
Oh my god.
She was
She's
good
brand
at.
ass.
She was actually funny in that. I'll give her credit for that. That's one I'll give her credit for. But supposedly the show she's on with Reese Witherspoon on Apple TV is pretty good.
It's very good.
The
Morning show.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's very good.
My friends tell me it's really good.
Yeah.
And yeah, she's a great actress. I always love her, and she has improved since Friends, and I think that's one good thing about that. All right, let's get back to the recap. So, yeah, yeah, at the British Grand Prix, Sonny and Joshua, yeah, that's his name, right? Joshua
Joshua
Pierce.
Pierce.
Yeah. Compete against each other rather than working as a team, and resulting in both crashing out, as expected. And acknowledging the team needs to secure like a points finish. And apparently, so like Sonny has this great idea to exploit the rules at the Hungarian Grand Prix by deliberately colliding with the other car rivals to trigger a safety car periods. This allows Pierce to close the gap to the front runners and secure the first time for the team their top 10 finish, which is cool. I like is working like a plan. But however, the next I say race in the Italian Grand Prix, unfortunately it rains there, and obviously it affects the race somewhat. If you've seen this kind of race, like the water, having rain against F1s are not good. If you've seen films like Rush, and I think Ford versus Ferrari had this as well, like there was some rain there and it wasn't good. um Sonny advised Pierce to remain on the slick tires, training a grip, like a train grip for speed, and elevating him to the like second place. However, he ignores. This is where I hate this kid. I was like,
Yeah.
he ignores Sonny's instruction to wait for the straight before overtaking this the other driver that has Vandana against the team members here. He skids, flies off the track while his car bursts into flames, which crazy. But thankfully, Sonny rescued him. But Pierce is injured and he misses the next three races. By the way, he was fine. Like he didn't have like bad burns like the one guy from Rush, the Ron Howard film with Chris Hemsworth. Like he seemed fine. I don't know. His injury wasn't like that bad like, when I saw it. Seeing it while he was getting recouped. And just to wrap up, while Pierce is like recovering, uh, you know, um, from his injuries, you're seeing also Sonny taking over, helping the first driver that took over with Pierce, and like in the next three races, the team elevates into now like top, position. They winning, um, you know, first like spots, and then like everyone loves Sonny, and like he's getting the praise. And while you're seeing this like montage of like the team getting better each week, you're seeing Pierce is completely angry. He's very jealous, and that's the more I hate about this character is like he's just being a prick. So let's go back to you, Cyber. What are your thoughts about this section of Sonny and Pierce not working together? Um, and seeing Sonny trying to find a way to get the team get better and try to finish like top 10, and then the end point is pretty much seeing the kid getting injured and seeing that Sonny is getting all the glory and fame instead of him. Go ahead.
Well, first off, just like Matt, I do not. I'm not a big fan of the character that Desmond Idris plays. He becomes really irritating to me. Like, he just pisses me off through this whole entire film, basically. And I just want to bitch slap him the whole entire fucking film.
Isn't his writing terrible in this film?
I don't know
Yeah,
if it's the
sort of.
writing. He just could. I mean, I don't think he's a horrible actor, but at the same time, I think his delivery is so convincing. That's why you hate him. So it's a mixture. It could be a mixture of the writing. It could be a mixture of how he acts. I don't know, but how he plays it, it's very irritating. And you're like, stop being a whiny bitch. You're not number one right now. You have to grow. You have to learn to become number one. It doesn't just come to you because you are on the team. You have to actually work for it. And that's kind of what the whole thought process is, I feel, for the kid. And he doesn't get that. And that, like, irritates me.
It feels unreal. The character feels unrealistic.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that this kid could carry on the way he carries on in the situation that they're in. And that's the thing that I could never quite get. And it's the writing. And I get that they want to build in, that relationship between Pitt and Pierce to be fractured and to build in the drama. But fuck me, you could have done it 100 different ways rather than making him a petulant twat.
Pretty much, yeah. So yeah, I mean, his just like irritation, at this point where he's just playing this like sniveling brat, basically. You get to a point you're just like, Brad Pitt's trying to help you here. He came in to help this team, and you're not helping the situation. And you see that throughout this sequence, and Brad Pitt, he's out there. He's like learning. You see him early in the morning. He's reading the books. He's trying to learn everything. He's trying to keep up. He's trying to do all these things, trying to learn everything he can. And we get to see that throughout this section. And you see that he's actually putting a lot of effort towards it. Whereas this little bitch, on the other hand, is like sitting there thinking, oh, it's going to be all handed to me. Yeah. Which, unfortunately, that's kind of the mindset today of a lot of the youth, unfortunately, And I thought that was clever writing because that was kind of an image of, I thought, an imitation of the times. And so that to me, even though he was irritating, I understood the reasoning behind it. But, leading up to, the races that we see between kind of this section here, I think they're really phenomenally done. I mean, being right there on the seat, I think the choreography, the cinematography is done so well, showing these racing scenes, and they're so good. I mean, just like what they did with Top Gun Maverick, it's the same thing. They really got in depth and tried their best to really show the reality of what it's like racing in these cars. And that was just really fun. And I thought the driving was spectacular and fun, and it was entertaining to watch. When people crashed and stuff like that too, it was really interesting. But then as we, progress on, eventually where we kind of get to a point at the point before the one character crashes, they started to kind of get to each other, starting to kind of grow a bond a little bit. And then he crashes and basically goes back to being a little bitch. And I'm just like, I'm like, really? Like, you just because you crashed, you're going to go back to being this little twat, as Matt mentioned. And I'm just like, I'm like, seriously, dude, like, it's not his fault that you crashed. You crashed because you don't know how to drive.
But he's the one that fucked up. This is the thing that pisses me off the most about the movie. He doesn't do what Sonny says to do, and he crashes. And then Sonny's getting chewed out by his mum and by the public, and he doesn't come out and go, actually, I fucked up. Like, this is where I think that Javier Bardem is the boss of the team. Why isn't he saying something to the kid? Pull your fucking head in, kid. Otherwise, fuck off the team. This is this whole character bit with him. Well, you can ignore it because you're having so much fun with the movie, but there are just times when I'm just like, fuck this kid off.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
But then as we get to the back end of the movie, we're sort of justified by hanging in. Yeah. Because you think, and we'll get it to the end. I don't want to ruin what I'm going to say about the end, but Yeah, like you fucked up, kid. Put your hand up for once and go, it was my fault that I crashed and Brad Pitt's the king. He's the only reason we're competitive. It's just annoying. And not only that,
Yeah.
like who's smiling and laughing when you crash out on the fucking second lap of the Grand Prix? Like,
Yep.
the kid's a fuckwit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. One of my problems with this movie, and you guys been hitting the home, it's so like formulaic. Like, you know, like one of the things I like about Top Gun 2 is that how it subverted like your usual like, you know, action tropes and like all that you see in like so many years of movies. And this movie is not doing anything new in terms of the space, you know, the sports racing, you know, tropes that we've seen from Ford versus Ferrari or Rush or whatever racing movies we've seen in our lives. And like with this kid, it's like I get that he's gonna like appreciate him. It's like, but why he has to be so annoying, like at this point? And it's like
this could be any sports movie. This story,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
And
of
you can
course.
probably draw parallels to Creed, where
Oh.
young kid comes back to the master. He's a bit grizzled because he thinks he got his dad killed, so he's carrying some luggage with it. But by midway, not even midway through the movie, probably 30 minutes into the movie, he's in love with Rocky, right? He admires him, he respects him, he's doing everything that Rocky says, right? There's just no come to God realization from Pierce that Sonny is not only probably part of the problem, but all of the solution, right? And there's just none of that until too late in the movie. So you're so annoyed with this kid. Whereas with Creed's like Adonis Creed is a dickhead for sort of 15, 20 minutes of the movie. And then he's not. He pulls into line. And there's just none of that pull Pierce into line in this movie. He just gets let to be a tool for too long.
100%. Yeah. So yeah, and I, this at this point too, we have the mother yelling at Sonny too, which cracks me up. I was like, I'm like, seriously, lady? I'm like, seriously? As she's laying into him, and I love how Brad Pitt's just kind of standing there listening to it, and he just kind of he's not saying anything, he's just listening, he's going with it, and he's just like, all I can think of it in his head, he was like thinking, what is this lady on? Like seriously, like your kid is the reason why he crashed, okay? Not me. Yeah. I told him what to do. He didn't do it. And another good point about this sequence too is I love how this is the portion where we're learning about the kind of the altering the things on the car to help it run better too, which I thought was really cool. I love all the simulation driving that they do to be able to do that, to learn that stuff. And him and kind of Kerry Condon, how they kind of are growing together a little bit there. And, you see them kind of working, trying to create this car that will help them run better. And I think that was really creative and cool too, because you're getting to see all the kind of the details of the car too, behind the scenes, besides just seeing it drive. And I thought that was really cool too. So really interesting section, leading up to our crash sequence, which I thought that was amazing on the big screen. That looked absolutely phenomenal. And I mean, the sound, the imagery, everything that was going on, the theater experience, which is so cool. And I just really appreciated how like theatrical it was, and that just really hit home too. So really fun section here. Lots of great stuff goes on. Very interesting stuff. A lot of irritating stuff goes on, but overall, I think it's still very entertaining and very enjoyable.
Yeah, I agree, Saber. Yeah, that crash, it's so cinematic. Like that's like what a crash is. Like if you've seen the F1 crashes in YouTube or whatever, or news, like that was a real crash, and it's not good. Jeff, your turn, sir. Your thoughts on this section, sir? The endpoint is pretty much the crash of the kid and all that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, like everybody's already pretty much talking about, what's going on. And obviously, it's unfortunate that the kid and Brad Pitt's character like finally seem to like jive for a minute, and then all of a sudden the kid crashes, right? But I thought that was I thought that was really like spot on for Brad Pitt's character to jump right out of his car and go help, and save him and spray the fucking car down, with the fire extinguisher and get him out, while the car's on fire. I thought the guy was gonna get fucking burnt up, bro. That fire looked bad. You know what I'm saying? But I believe at this point in these scenes, Brad Pitt has already started hitting on the chick, right?
Yeah, he's starting to make his moves on her, while trying to like fix the car, as Saber said before, like fixing up the car one by one and making it better in the race.
Matthew, sir, I honestly don't know what to say about what you said in the private chat about Jennifer Aniston's asshole. But
have you only just seen that?
But I just have to say
about this. Oh my God,
no. That's how I feel about Angelina Jolie back when she was doing movies like Gia. And I would have licked her asshole in that same exact situation. I'll tell you right now. And I have licked some asshole before, sir. So you know what I'm saying? I have experience when it comes to asshole licking. You know what I mean? I remember the first time a chick ever tossed my salad. I think I was like,
what?
Toss my salad. Yeah, that's when a girl licks your asshole. They call it tossing salad. That's the prison. That's the prison slang for it. Tossing salad. But the first time she ever I had this girlfriend that did it to me one time, and I didn't know what the fuck was going on, but it felt interesting. You know what I'm saying? I liked it.
Oh my God. So it was the
so I reciprocated afterwards. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously she had done me, so I was like, oh, I should probably do her too. So I got in there and got some tongue action in there.
Wait. So you're telling me the salad is basically the prison soap of dating?
No, tossing the salad is a prison slang for eating asshole.
Okay. I thought anyway. Anything else to say, sir?
Anyway,
Saber, I think you need to put the hot D clip right now. This was the.
Anyways, so no.
Please. This is the.
They're going to kill me. I told them to send me a video holding an object and start nodding.
Anything is a dildo when you really put your mind to it. There's no such thing as too large or too sharp. Every time you stop to question yourself, I want you to tell yourself, I can and I will.
How's that one bitch gonna put that like porcelain unicorn up her snatch? You know what I'm saying? Like, how's that gonna work?
Yeah, there's a will, there's a way.
There's a way, yes. I mean,
that looks very painful. I mean, I can believe that Dasani bottle, the last one. I can believe that. You know what I'm saying?
What? Oh my God! Anything else, please? Just.
Oh my God! You know what's barbaric is when you get these crazy, insane motherfuckers that like shove beer bottles up in women's vaginas and then kick them and break them and shit like that. That shit is fucking insane. But anyway, so yeah, I mean, I dig the way that Brad Pitt's character kind of like goes along, like with trying to hit on the boss chick. I dig that, like how he kind of goes about it. It's kind of slick. You know what I mean? Like how he pulls it off. Very smooth, I mean, the race stuff again looks outstanding. You know what I'm saying? I think that race was in the UK, they had the jets fly over and everything, and it was just like an American sporting event. It was like really cool to see. Were those actual F1 drivers for real life in that race? Yeah, there you go. So that's pretty authentic. When you got real F1 drivers out there, you know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't know how much actual driving Brad Pitt and like Idris or whatever actually did for this film. Like how much of them is actually them out there? I'd love to know that.
Heaps.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, there is. They drove the cars a lot. Now, the cars they drove weren't F1 cars; they were F2 cars, which are the class down, so they weren't as powerful. But they did a lot of driving.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That doesn't surprise me. I would assume that Brad Pitt would be down to do a lot of his own stunts, you know?
Apparently, he was very good. Brad Pitt was very good to the point where, like, not far away from being a legit Formula One sort of driver.
Ooh.
He could be that fast. We're probably talking, when you talk about not far away, you're probably talking 5 seconds or 6 seconds, which, not even 1 second separates the whole grid on an F1 thing. So if you're 6 seconds behind, you're a fair way behind, but for mere mortals, that's not a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, apparently very good.
Yeah, you could definitely tell, like, he knew how to, like, move it in a way like a F1 driver could do.
Those controllers are crazy looking. Those little video game looking controllers that they use.
Yeah, that was weird. Like, I was like, wait, it looks like a PS4.
It's very complicated. There's all these different modes you can switch into to get the car to drive a certain way. You know what I mean? And you know what I mean. You got to pay attention to your tires the whole time and all that. You know, and can you imagine how expensive those fucking tires are on those cars? You know?
Oh my god, a whole lot.
I saw some guy the other day on TV. This one guy that sells really nice cars in this dealership. He was saying this one car that he was showing that the tires on the car were like $25,000 a tire.
Fuck.
Can you imagine that shit? Anyways, that's all I got, Andres.
Yeah. No, they're very expensive. I mean, like, all that, the equipment, it's like, that's why it's so expensive doing that kind of race. Okay, let's get back to the crazy of this movie. So, after, the kid gets recover, and like he becomes more cocky as usual at the Belgium Grand Prix, his return, he deliberately forces Sonny into a crash. More to hate him. After that moment, I was like, fucking hell, what's wrong with you, man? And then afterward, Sonny criticized him for his foolishness, saying the team back for a personal glory, which is true. I like that he confronted him during the scene as like, hey, dude, I'm not going to let you ruin this for the team. Like, we were doing so good in the last 2 weeks without you. Like, we need to work as a team. So I was happy that Sonny, confronted him for that. And then seeking to ease the tension, Kate, the technician manager, organized a poker game. This was my favorite part of the movie, was seeing Kate tricking them into a poker game to highlight their similar backgrounds. Like, conveniently, they lost both their dads. I was like, oh, that is very similar to their backgrounds. And after which, so after they have this, like, poker game, who won in this poker game? Was it the kid that won?
I don't know if anybody even won.
Yeah, that part I was like,
I wasn't even really sure what that was even about.
Yeah, so I guess she won. I guess, and they learned quite a couple things about themselves as racers and their personal lives. And then after this, as Cyber brought up before, the relationship between Kate and Sonny like blossom after this, and they both actually they both like
toss the salad.
They tossed the salad. Yeah, they tossed the salad and they slept together. And then he talks to her about the race. He tells the reason why he wants to race is that he wants to recapture the rare moments that he feels untouchable. And then just wrapping up the section here, Ruben, the friend of Sonny, comes in. He's not surprised that they're together. That was a funny scene where he was like, where is he? Like, I know he's with you. He comes in, and then we get this, like, out of nowhere, like, anonymous tip that alleging that Kate's upgrade to the cars are illegal. And so now they are forced, the team are forced to remove them, leaving the team now a disadvantage. And so, feeling frustrated and realizing that he has skipped his ritual. This is something is during the film you pay attention. He has this ritual playing like random card and put it in his pocket for like good luck charm. And so, he completely skips it and doesn't put a card in like his pocket while he was doing one of the cars. Unfortunately, he drives recklessly during the Las Vegas Grand Prix and crashes. And this is the end point. While he recovers, his best friend Ruben discovers that Sonny's 1993 injuries left him medically unfit for F1 with risk of blindness or death, and fires him for his own safety. So let me stop there. Let me get back to you, Jeff. Your thoughts on this section? The kid just being more annoying. This illegal tip that now they had to get rid of the upgrades, and at the end point is Sonny getting into the crash, and like we discovered that his injuries from 1993 has now left him medically unfit for F1.
Yeah, I already mentioned that I thought that was an interesting aspect, that they had the whole injury thing from the accident from earlier, going on, and that could affect his ability to drive. It was making it to where he couldn't even see straight, right? When he was driving.
Yeah, you couldn't see straight. You saw briefly like a little.
Yeah, that was interesting. And obviously at those kind of high speeds, you can't be driving like that. You know what I'm saying? Like you that's not good. That's not good. I thought they definitely could have done the sex scene between Brad Pitt and Carrie Condon or whatever better. They just had them kind of like make out real quick and then like, left the rest like, to our imagination. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know. I guess Apple TV's not a big fan of sex scenes in their movies.
This is PG-13.
I think it's a ratings thing, to be honest.
Oh, PG-13?
Yeah,
okay.
I think this movie was PG-13 because they only had that one F-bomb.
I noticed was not a lot of swearing. Yeah.
Yeah, so it was PG-13.
You could get away with like 2 or 3 F-bombs and still be a PG-13, right? You could do like 2 or 3 shits.
Yeah, 2 or 3 shits. The F-bomb is only one time. That's what I heard. And
yeah. And no tossed salads.
No.
That'd be funny. It's like the only time you can just toss the one salad is here. That's it.
The only instance in the history of movies and television where you might have heard of tossed and salad is during Oz on HBO back in the day.
Oh my God! Oh yes, they did that.
They probably talked about tossed and salad on that show.
How heavy was that show? Jesus.
I was watching that when I was 12, 13 years old, bro.
Yeah,
sucking it up. That was my first HBO show that I ever got into. I was like totally into it, bro. I loved it.
It's a good show.
I could not get enough of it. You know what I'm saying? I wanted to watch it every week when it came on. And I followed it too. I watched it every year when it came on. I watched it every season,
It puts a different light on watching J. Jonah Jameson shaft a bloke up the ass from behind.
That show had a great cast.
Unbelievable cast.
Unbelievable cast, yeah.
Unbelievable. I mean, they all went on to almost everyone in that show went on to something way better.
Yeah.
Yes.
The Wire, The Walking
Band
Dead.
of Brothers.
Oh yeah.
Sopranos.
Or got into film afterwards. You know what I'm saying? And did stuff in film.
Law and Order.
Yeah.
Law and Order, obviously.
Yeah.
SVU. You know what I'm saying? Which is so popular that entire, cheapy channels on certain streaming services have nothing but SVU channels. That's all it is SVU,
Murder, She Wrote. It's an incredible show.
Yeah, they have channels dedicated to that too. When you go on Amazon Prime and you look at their channels, they have a lot of channels like that.
I was in the States in January for a week with Luke in Missouri, and there was a whole channel for Murder, She Wrote. It's all I watched for 6 days.
6 days.
Murder, She Wrote. Yeah.
dude.
I wanted
just-
to. I wanted to.
That does,
I
it
wanted
doesn't
to beat
surprise-
JB Fletcher to death.
It doesn't surprise me. I mean, I've got like LG TV Plus or whatever through my television, and they're all their channels, and they have like they have like old reality shows as channels, like Duck Dynasty channel and Dog the Bounty Hunter channel. Like, who the fuck really wants to watch Dog the Bounty Hunter at this point? You know what I'm saying?
I didn't want to watch it when it was on.
It's an all right show. It was an all right show. Yeah, so I liked seeing Brad Pitt hook up with that chick. I thought that their little romance was cute. It worked well for the film. You know what I'm saying? I liked it. I like how in this part of the film, you're still seeing more racing, and you're still seeing more of like the chemistry starting to develop between the two drivers on the same team. They're starting to figure out that they can work together, that they're better off together, that's all coming together, and the movie's really going upwards, like elevating, in a very good way, throughout this part of the film. It's really working its way up towards its sort of crescendo. Right. So yeah, it's a great section.
Awesome. Cyber, you're next. Your thoughts on this section, seeing the kid recover and them getting in trouble with the legal stuff with the upgrades with their car, and then the end point is Sonny getting crashed and then discovering his injury that happened in the 90s and medically unfit to do this F1 stuff. Go ahead.
So this section is probably where it kind of slows down a little bit. And you have the recovery of Damson Idris, and you see kind of Brad Pitt out there taking forward kind of the lead and everything while he's recovering, and which is fun. And then of course they end up finding out about the alterations to the car and stuff like that, and they give them a big deal about it and that all kinds of stupid stuff. And it's like I'm like, why is that so wrong? With alterations happen to cars all the time. So I don't know what the big deal is. And so, them having to deal with that is, kind of interesting. It kind of gets you into a little bit more into F1 if you don't know much about F1, or if you don't know much about racing in general, and kind of you can only do certain things to cars and all this kind of stuff. And you learn about that kind of through this. And I think that was actually kind of educational up to a point, so that you would understand Formula One racing a little more. And I thought that was really clever and really cool writing. And I think that, kind of, you end up having, Brad Pitt's character, Sonny, get in and crash himself and injured. And you end up finding out that, that crash he had, back in the, 80s, when what last was with Formula One, badly injured him. And then he's kind of had it ever since. He's had small injuries happen, stuff like that. And, basically, another crash could either make him go blind or kill him, that type of deal. And you end up finding that out, and you're kind of he's risking it all. He's risking it all, kind of given that, I feel like that's given some more drama to the story, oh, something horrible could happen, and we can't let him do this. We can't, blah, blah, blah. And to make the story even more oh, this is even crazier that he's still out there racing, and he has, he could basically die and all this kind of crap. And you're just like, okay, yeah, that's a horrible situation, but he's choosing to do this. It's his life. He decides what he wants to do, So I think that, that's very cleverly written and very well done too, as well. And, finding that out, you're kind of oh, Sonny, why, Sonny, why? And you're you're rooting for Sonny. You're I don't want you to die, Sonny. You're cool. You're a great character. And, but yeah, I mean, I think this whole section, like I said, is kind of where it slows down, gives you some racing, at the same time, gives you a lot of kind of story element to go through and to talk about. Basically we kind of see kind of where their stories are intertwining and stuff like that, and kind of where they're traveling to get them to their point where they can win, and keep the basically this racing going. And I think it's, it's not horrible. It's not like super entertaining, but at the same time, I think it still is pivotal to move the movie forward and does a decent enough job to do that. And I think is, very interesting. There's a lot of great information that happens here that I think, just, gives you some very educational types of things about F1 racing, which I find really interesting. It gave me a better perspective of F1 and actually got me interested to learn more about F1 because I thought that was just a really interesting thing. So, yeah, I think overall, a decent section that, I think moves the story along very well. And so, once again, great music and great cinematography. Really well done there.
Agreed. By the way, I just want to give a shout out to Hans Zimmer. Great composer as always. Love his score in this film. And also like the licensed songs they have here. Matt brought before, the Let's Zip in the beginning and here they have a couple good songs. I quite like what they did. Matt, it's your turn, sir. Your thoughts on this section and the endpoints.
Again, I think everyone's sort of covered most of my stuff, but I think that it's just Cyber was saying in the last point, the last part of the film we're talking about seeing how the car's made and how it's developed and the importance that plays. And I think that what it's showing is just how the drivers are just one cog of the greater team, which is why it shows how different Sonny and Pierce are, because Sonny understands that it's a team, whereas Pierce, it's just about him, right? So I think then when we see that there's now been this leak and that there's issues with the design of the car, it shows just how important that side of the program is. It's not just about the drivers, it's about the developers and the designers and all that stuff as well. So I think that was really good. I struggled a little bit with the chemistry with Brad Pitt and the Irish salad tosser. I didn't quite get it. I think I just kept looking at Brad Pitt and thinking he could maybe do a little bit better. But I do like her in the film. I think she is good, but I just didn't quite get that. I think that the whole thing with Pierce when he comes back and he sat on the sidelines for those 3 weeks and he's seen that how good a job he has done, and then he comes back and it's just a dick. Just again, there's just more weight on the fact that just why isn't Javier Bardem stepping in to sort this out? But then I guess we then go into the bit where we find out. I think this is the best part. The best part of the movie for me is where we actually find out the motivation behind Sonny, and it's the accident and how he's kept that secret for like 30 years or 25 years, and no one really knew the severity of that. And that's like the core of the film, and the fact that he gets the sack, and then you feel for Sonny, like you feel that you've been done the dirty, like you don't want Sonny to leave. I think that we've built this through the whole film, so I think that's a really cool part. Looking forward to seeing. Look, and you know he's going to come back. You know that it's just there for that part of it. So, but look, yeah, I think it's a good part of the movie because it just, again, it doubles down on the previous section where we find out that you can have the best drivers in the world, but if you got people in the back area that are not doing their job, you can be fucked. The disappointing thing is that we then start to now talk about, well, who's a rat and why is there a rat? And it just seems to be a little bit tropey that there's a rat in the organization that doesn't want them to succeed. And I think that, again, it's a bit paint by numbers for the movie. But, again, it moves the story forward. We ultimately get what we want in the end. But yeah, I enjoy it. Look, there's not a bad part of this movie. So for me, I think everything just sort of keeps doubling down on what's happened before. And I can't wait to get to the end where we're going to see the big finale and we all get what we want.
Yeah, I agree. Let's talk about the ending. And let me you brought up something that was kind of funny, the twist. So the guy from Outlander who played the Frank character, but also he's from Game of Thrones. He was the guy that was with Rob's rebellion, and he gets captured by the Fray, and like he plays the villain of this story, which it was kind of weird. I feel like that's the worst part about this movie is that
Yeah.
like the whole twist of him like sabotaging the race so that he can sell off the team and like make some cash, and it's like, okay, like it comes out of nowhere. It's so like tack on. I feel like you don't need this. Like, and something we haven't brought up before. I'm kind of curious. If you can add this after I'm wrapping up the final part of this movie. Like, do you guys like that it was very long? It's like 2 hours long, and I feel like there
It's like 225 total.
225. Yeah, I feel like you could cut some like several things in this movie, and like that twist you could get rid of. Like, you don't need it. It's like you don't need this kind of like
You don't need
complication.
the. I agree. You don't need the twist, but I don't have an issue with the length. I think they could have replaced the twist with more driving, more
Yeah,
racing.
yeah, more
Like,
racing.
I actually don't think there's enough racing in this movie. Like, because I think
Yeah,
that's where the excitement is. I think they could have. You could have taken the twist is, and pardon me, the twist is not needed because you could easily have made it that there was a technical issue with the car. The car wasn't performing. There was something. It didn't have to be that it was being sabotaged from within, so that some wanky British twat could assume leadership of the team. I just think that's such an irrelevant storyline. Whereas if they made it about the car and about there was an issue technically or something like that, you still could have had that where shit, we may not finish, we may not get what we want because the car's not going to work, right? But then miraculously they solve the problem. Like, that still would have worked, I think.
yeah. Or in my opinion, like you could have more developed the friendship between Sonny and the kid more, like because he started to learn more about like he now understands that he was actually helping him in the race, instead of sabotaging him. Because like when he does, so like getting into the recap, like when that you know um reveal of the twist, Pierce starts to like test, like he does the simulation. If you've seen the like the behind scenes stuff, they do like simulation tests, and like he realized that what Sonny's racing techniques actually was like efficient. It helped him, and he admits his fault in the crash to his mom, and like he recommits to the team, which was kind of cool. And the same time, Sonny comes back as you guys brought up before, as typical. Like he was coming back anyway after the guy came to him and saying that like I have a position for you after this sellout or whatever, and of course he didn't accept that. And yeah, so they go to the was it the buy Grand Caprice, and each person is getting ready. Sonny kind of conceals his visions and headaches, while at the same time, Sonny, you know, pursues Ruben to let him return, and at the same time, like the FIA clears Kate and restores her upgrades, which was good. I forgot, I missed that part. I didn't know they let her restore her upgrades. So they're at the Dubai Grand Prix. Uh, Pierce battles these two like real life F1 drivers for the lead. After Sonny is caught in the mirror crash, the race is red flag, allowing the Sonny and the team to repair both their cars before the 3 lap sprint to the finish line. On the restart, Sonny overtakes the one driver that's like in front of him, sacrifices trying to like sacrifice his own chance to victory by holding off this driver so that the kid can move into first. But on the final lap, the one driver clashes the kid's car, clearing the way for Sonny to take his first F1 win, securing the team's future, which was I was happy about that. And then yeah, the kid did the right thing. That's the one thing the kid did right, was like allowing him to win. He has many years to like get a win. He's very young, and he actually like was it like he was offered a seat with Mercedes, right? The German honorable brand, but he declines, and and this is the end of the film. The team celebrates their win. Sonny gives the trophy to Ruben. That was a great touch. I love that moment that he gives to his partner, who was a former driver, and like that moment was really great. I really loved that. That was very emotional. And after that, the Sonny quietly prepares to leave, partying on good terms with the kid, promising to see Kate soon. And then sometime later, he lines up for like I another like a Mexican off-road motor sport race in California, and then the guy as like what he as what he is racing for, and then Sonny laughs, and that's the end of the movie. So let me get back to you, Matt. Your thoughts on the finale of this film? What you like it, what you dislike it? Go ahead.
I okay. I'm going to start with what I don't like about it. So I just don't like Pierce. I don't like that he now wants to start running up the track like what Sonny wants to do. He wants to try and get the team. Oh, I'm a team guy now. Look at me. I get it. Fuck off, Pierce. You're a dick. That annoys me. I think the redeeming part of the finale, and it can also be viewed as a bit of a negative as well, is that I think it's great that obviously Pierce is fighting Lewis Hamilton. It's a great race. It's all happening, and you honestly, the movie makes you think the whole way that Pierce is going to win the race, right? So that whole finale, like you honestly think there's no way that you could have sat there and watched it and gone, "Oh, Brad Pitt's going to win this," because in the whole movie, everything that he has done has been for Pierce's benefit. Everything, all the tactics, everything that he's done has been to make sure that Pierce wins, right? I actually thought that Brad Pitt might crash into Lewis Hamilton and take them out and then have Pierce win the race. So the redeeming feature, I think, for the movie is that we actually get what we want, and we get Brad Pitt to win, even though a 55-year-old man winning a Formula One Grand Prix is beyond belief and is never going to happen. I'm willing to ride that and go, well, I'm happy for that to happen because I didn't expect it. It's probably the only thing in the whole movie that I didn't really expect to happen. It's quite formulaic all the way through, as we've said, but I think the finale is not. I think that Brad Pitt winning, if you've watched the movie, you don't expect that to happen. So I enjoyed that. Do I enjoy that suddenly now Pierce gets this? I understand it. I'm now the team guy, and I'm gonna take Lewis Hamilton out, and then Brad Pitt's gonna fly, and that scene with him flying around the track is all cool. Like, it's all well done. Happy that Brad Pitt wins. Even more happy that Pierce doesn't win. I don't know if we're going to go right up to them, but I'm disappointed that Brad Pitt doesn't continue and they make Brad Pitt the number one driver and they continue making Pierce the number two driver. I think that would make me feel better because I just really don't like the kid, even up until now when he gets his bit of redemption. I'm more happy that he still doesn't get his win. Done.
Yeah. I kind of agree with what you're saying. It's a little too late for making me like the kid towards the end of the film. I was very surprised, they didn't make the kid number two and then making, Sonny number one, but it made sense, the fact that, it was just, he was the second driver and he was just helping out the kid. But anyway, Cyber, you're up next, sir. Your thoughts on the finale of the film?
All right. So the finale of the film, I think it's a really great finale. I think that we get some decent, car action at the end here. We get an interesting kind of outtake here, kind of like how Matt was saying, it was kind of stupid to have it, where, Pierce ends up the way he is, because he just really is an arrogant prick. I mean, throughout the whole entire fucking film. And that's just the type of person he is. And so to have him kind of like, kind of become, oh, we're good buds type of deal. Like, you're kind of like, nah. I wouldn't see that from this guy. I would not see this from this dude because that's just not the type of person he is. I feel like even if he does see the error of his ways, he's still going to be a freaking prick. So it's not like he's going to be like old buddy chummy, you know? But I mean, the fact that, we do get it where they do end up, making it, keeping the team alive and keeping them going and winning. And, is really fantastic. I think that the racing is done really well, and that Sonny ends up, finishing off and is, doesn't die and all that good stuff is really great. And I think that, having, Sonny not stay with the team is exactly how I feel it would be, because Sonny is a free spirit. And as we saw throughout the film, after he was an F1 originally, after his injury, he went off to did other stuff, and he's done that consistently, and we saw that like when Javier Bardem found him at the beginning of the film. That's just Sonny. That's what Sonny does. He doesn't stick with something for so long. If he goes and completes something, he moves on to the next thing. And so him going and basically ending up, doing the dune buggy shit, I think was absolutely hilarious. And I thought a really great way of like, they decided to do a sequel. What a great way to like start off a new sequel and, have it where he's doing the dune buggy shit. And I was like, I'm like, that's kind of clever. I mean, that's not something you see a lot about in movies or movies about racing, about dune buggies and shit like that. So I thought, that twist kind of was like, that's really interesting. I like to see more of that. I like to see him driving these dune buggies and shit. So I thought it was a really fantastic ending. I thought a great way to end this film. I think this movie is great from start to finish. I was really impressed with it in theaters. I was impressed watching it again. Like I said, the sound, cinematography, the action, everything about this film was so well created and done. And I definitely feel this movie should have gotten more accolades for how great of a film it was created and how it was done well. I could see why Matt would have this as his number one film of last year, because it really was just all around a really solid film from beginning to end. And even if you don't think the writing's 100% that great, or if you don't agree with, that it had the best graphics and stuff like that, like they thought Avatar, Fire and Ash had better graphics than this, I'm sorry. But I would take, realistic parts, realistic practical effects, better than just all CGI. So I think that to me is what real special effects are, not just a fully CGI film. So I definitely think this movie should have gotten more credit for how well done of a film it was, how well done it was, like similar to Maverick, and just overall, just a really well done film. If you haven't seen it, recommend checking it out, people. It's so good.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised it didn't win Best Visual Effects, because I thought the visual effects here was really good. And instead, the third Avatar movie won for his visual effects. I was like, what the hell? That's kind of crazy. Anyway, Jeff, you're the last person. Your thoughts on the finale, sir? Do you like it, dislike it? Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, well, of course I liked the ending. I mean, I already said I love the progression of the film as it goes on. I like how it builds up towards a solid ending, I really very much did enjoy, again, as I said before, I liked seeing Brad Pitt's character and the Idris character sort of, coming together by the end, and finding chemistry together, which they did, right? They're able to pull off that big win on that, on that final race, which just looked awesome. Just shot really well, all the racing stuff is just really well shot in this film, really well done. Probably like the best racing stuff I've ever seen, the most authentic I've ever seen. It looks really realistic. Andres, I cannot remember what Monica Bellucci looked like in the 90s, sir. So,
hot and very tasty as a salad.
I'm sure, sir. I'm sure you would eat that salad without question.
Untossed.
Yeah.
Tossed, yeah.
Make her take a shower first, though, sir. Anyways, So yeah, I love how the relationship between the head, car chick and Brad Pitt character, ends in a really positive way. You know what I mean? Like kind of like, hey, I'll just see you down the road. Like it's nothing bad. You know what I mean? Like it was only just supposed to be a fling anyway. I don't think there was ever any, like real belief on any one of their parts that like this was going to be some kind of long-term relationship or something like that. I don't think Brad Pitt's character is that kind of guy, honestly. They said earlier in the movie that he's had like a dicey love life with like ugly divorces and stuff like that in the past, So, he doesn't do so well with the ladies apparently. But, yeah, I like the way everything kind of works out, I mean, even though, you guys were not feeling, the Idris guy, his character, throughout the movie, I felt like he ended things well. His arc ended well. He ended up being a good guy, a team player in the end, that wanted to stick with the team that, that at the end, he didn't want to take the job from another team, So, but, I get where you guys are coming from. Again, I thought the guy was written very badly. I really did. I thought his dialogue was terrible all throughout the film. I hated his lines. I just felt like they were terrible. And like, he's got to be better than that too. Yeah, I like that Carrie Condon. I'd like to see her in other stuff, I'd like to see her in some television, like Matt said, that's all streaming pretty much does at this point, is produce television. Not so much movies. Although, hey, Apple TV, again, I don't know how big of a role they played in the production of this film, but they were a part of it to some extent, I believe they have their own lot that they, their own, their own lot where they do shoot at, but I think a lot of this was shot, on location, on like, they had to be, a lot of it, I think was probably shot in Europe, but, yeah, overall, I mean, seeing Brad Pitt wrap the movie up by going down the Baja, or the race in Baja, and then going to the credits and actually showing Brad Pitt in the Doom buggy driving it and all that. I loved all that. I thought that was absolutely great. What a fabulous way to end the film. Just showing Brad Pitt just rocking it out. It's him too. Driving in the desert in the Doom buggy. Yeah. I enjoyed the film. I thought the ending was good. Nothing spectacular. Didn't blow me away. But again, the racing, outstanding. The way they shot the races, top notch, 100% top notch. That's all.
Awesome. Yeah. Very typical.
That's Monica Bellucci?
Yes, that's Monica Bellucci.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I would toss her salad. I would toss Monica Bellucci salad. Hell yeah.
Yeah. She's in Brennan Strokes Dracula. She was in the later Matrix sequels. Oh my god, so hot. The last movie I saw her in was in Beetlejuice, and she was still beautiful as an undead lady. So
you gotta be careful with the ladies from the 80s and 90s, though, because like when it came to grooming downstairs back then, it was a little bit different than it is nowadays. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays you expect women to have their shit all cleaned up downstairs, but back then it wasn't like that.
Yeah, they were big George Bush fans.
Yeah, you never know. You never know with a chick from the 80s and 90s, man.
Oh my god.
Well, she was very popular in the 90s. She was very popular in the 90s. So she actually was pretty.
What was she on?
She was pretty much in a whole bunch of stuff in the mid to late 90s.
What was she on? Was she on like NYPD
Movies.
Blue or what was she on?
No, she was in French movies. She's French.
Oh, French movies.
She's French.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Those have always been really popular in America.
Yep.
Yeah.
So is this Monica Bellucci?
Yep. Yeah.
She was in a movie called
I've heard of her.
She's Italian. She's in a movie called Irreversible.
Italian.
She's
Sorry,
in a movie
my bad,
called
Italian.
It's called Irreversible, and it's one of the toughest watches you'll ever see.
Yeah.
And she's in a pretty graphic scene. She literally gets her boobs out in every single movie she's in, apart from The Matrix.
Oh, so she's one of those
Yeah,
actresses.
really.
Well, if she's French, you know what I'm saying? That's not surprising to me because, you know, those French women are known to be fucking, you know, whores.
No, Jeff. She's Italian. She's not French.
Oh, Italian, whatever.
Sweeping statement from TrueKnowledge.
Women in Europe are a lot more sexually open than in the
No
US.
offense to the French. No
Yeah.
offense to the French.
Oh God.
No offense to French films.
I'm so
I don't watch many French films.
No offense to the French women, but you're all whores. Okay, no offense.
Oh my God. I'm dearly sorry, French people who've seen this stream. This is his fault. What the hell? This is not the type of salad we're throwing at.
That's all right, sir. I don't think we're rolling in French fans, so we're all good.
Yes, hopefully not. I don't want them to see we're just dead. Anyway,
we're not exactly reviewing French films every other week or anything like that, you know. So
yeah,
not yet.
Not yet. That is true. Anyway, let's rate this movie and get the hell out of here. Jeff, your rating, sir.
I'll give this one a solid 8.5, sir.
Oh, cool. All right, Matt, your rating, sir.
9 out of 10 for me. Loved it.
Awesome. Cyber, your rating, sir.
You know what it is, sir.
Oh God.
10. 10.
Oh, yes.
I don't think I've done a movie where Cyber hasn't rated it 10.
10, yeah. Oh my God, Matt. He has a new nickname, Mr. 10. I call him. That's his new name. Every time he does the 10 out of 10, he's Mr. 10. Oh God.
Let's see when we review Mandalorian and Grogu whether he gives that a 10.
Oh. Yes.
Hey, so I am not Mr. 10 all the time. Now, if you go
that's
back
true.
and watch any of our reviews on Knights of the Seven Kingdom, I did not give 10s to every single episode in that 6 episodes. So you got to check that out.
Okay,
Yeah.
I certainly will have a look.
That's true. Yes, you have to check. No, Cyber has a good
9.9 still count as 10. Cyber.
yeah. So when he gets the low grade, he's a Cyberneticshark. But when he gets 10,
you'll see on the finale what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Oh yeah. It was low. I think I remember. It wasn't
Blue Velvet. Check out that one too.
Oh, that's a rough watch.
Yeah, that one. I liked it, but it was really good. Anyway, my rating is kind of similar to you guys. Between 8 out of 10. I thought this was a great experience film. If you could check out my short review, I rated 8 out of 10. I thought it was a really great spectacle film. The performances was great. The practical effects was the best thing. As Cyber said before, the sound is really the big thing about this film, and I think this movie does a good job of.
Oh, great timing, sir.
Should have turned his camera off.
Hey, it's Iceman again. He's trying to talk about Top Gun here. He's trying to imitate it.
Nice, Matthew.
Oh my god. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. I'm so sorry. Anyway, 8 out of 10. Let's get the hell out of here. The only reason I turned my camera off was because Matt's comment about the Italian. I don't know what joke he was saying. Anyway, Jeff,
all right,
go ahead. Let this out. Let's go.
Matthew, bored to watch. We haven't seen you in a minute, so tell us what's been going on lately, sir.
I've been a little bit quiet on YouTube. I've got a whole bank up of stuff to listen to, but we are the movie podcast where we don't take ourselves or the movies too seriously. We just dropped Trading Places this week, which was good fun. I think I uploaded that one this morning, and But yeah, look, we're closing in on our 4-year anniversary, which is in May, which we're going to be doing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood with our crew, which we're really looking forward to.
Oh, congratulations!
Yeah, so we've got a whole heap of good content coming up from the 80s, 90s, and 2000s up until then. So check us out, Born to Watch, on all good podcast platforms, or go to our website, borntowatch.com.au, or obviously on YouTube. Thank you for having me.
There you go. Great job, sir. Great plugs, as usual.
Thank you.
All right. Andre the Pop Culture Guy, sir.
Yes. Hello. This is Andreas, Pop Culture Guy. This is my channel, Channel Presents. Matt, it was good to see you again, sir. It was a pleasure. You made me laugh as always. Anyway, so I recently post a clip from my top 10 Joker moments from last year. This is where the Joker and the Trickster, both voiced by Mark Hamill, and they're kidnapping the actor Mark Hamill in this underrated Justice League show called Justice League Action. You can check that out. Plus, you can check out my trailer reaction with Jeff when we did the House of Dragon, Lanterns, and Scary Movie 6 last Sunday when we did the season tier.
I didn't really say a whole lot. I didn't react very much, but I was there.
Hey, yeah, we were there. Hey, we did reaction. But hey, this Sunday, I got another live stream.
Sometimes maybe good, sometimes maybe shit.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, that's like how we operate.
Andres, what's going on with the 2 Sundays in a row live streams?
Yeah, because my friend what was it last Sunday? Because I usually do this 2 separate weeks on in the month, but my friend invited me to do a movie on that particular Sunday, so I had to push these streams into back to back. So it's just for this month. Next in April, we're gonna go back to the regular schedule I usually do in terms of my live stream. But anyway, so thank you, Jeff, for doing the Game of Thrones ranking the worst to the best seasons that we saw for the 8 seasons. That was really fun discussing Game of Thrones. And this Sunday we're gonna have Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice. That's gonna be fun. I just been contacting a couple YouTube contenders to join us on Sunday, and thankfully we're gonna have the best trailer reactions because Jeff already seen the Spider-Man Brand New Day, but we're gonna react to that with hopefully the guest panelists, but also Doom Part 3 trailer as well. So that's gonna be exciting. That's probably the most exciting in terms of trailer reaction in my channel. I'm really excited for. But thank you so much, everyone, for joining me. Hopefully my moderation was good. You can check out my shorts. I do the usual movie/TV reviews and movie clips. And that's where I'm at right now. Thank you.
Okay.
And you can check out my F1 review that I did just today. But yeah, thank you.
There you go. Check out that F1 review that he did today.
Yes, exactly.
All right. Cyberneticshark, sir. Close us out, Cyber. Close us out, sir.
Yes.
Yes. So make sure to go over to the Pop Culture Guy's channel and watch the mini review he did of this movie we just did. So don't watch us here on the Absolute Edge. Watch him on there, okay, folks?
No, watch
anyway,
that and also go back to F1, the stream review.
Anyways, folks. So yeah, I'm Cyberneticshark. You know that. So if you like me here on the panel, or if you enjoy me as a moderator, you can check out my solo content. You'll find me under Cyberneticshark. My home base, of course, is YouTube, so definitely check that out there. I see their most recent review is of the 28 years later, the Bone Temple movie. Just put that out today. If you haven't seen my last 2 trailer reactions of Ready or Not 2 or The Bride, check those out too as well. For shorts, I've put up a few little mini reviews and a couple more AI videos for you guys. I just recently put up Cyber as a lobster fisherman. If you have not seen that, check that out. Or if you enjoy my mini reviews, definitely check out my Dust Bunny or Meet the Deedles mini reviews there I put up just recently. Give those a whirl, folks. If you haven't checked out my, me in a musical, definitely check that out too. Some fun shit, really fun stuff. It's cracking me up. just thinking about it. Anywho, if you haven't checked any of that stuff out, give it a whirl, people. And as always, people, keep on watching us. All of us here, all these great content creators, keep on helping us grow. Keep on subscribing. Keep on watching, especially here on the MCU's Bleeding Edge. We appreciate when you come watch us and subscribe. You guys are rocking it. We think you are great. We appreciate you guys. And as always, keep on chilling. Keep on rocking, folks.
All right. There you go. We all, without Matthew, unfortunately, he will not be there, but we'll all be back for Monarch episode 4 on Friday evening. Looking forward to that. I'll be moderating, which should be fun. And, I'm going to see what kind of outline ChatGDP can throw together for me. And, again, like Cyber said, we appreciate everybody out there that caught the movie review tonight, F1. It was great. Matthew, thanks for coming by, brother. Shout out to you. Great job tonight, Andres. And peace out to all of us, and God bless all of you.